Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to West Seattle. It's Ben back, and this time I'm here to take my first look at the new Optimum Idol Pearl from Roto Grip. So first off, this ball looks super rad. That neon pink, chef's kiss. So it looks great. We'll find out what's going on with it in just a second though. Let's see what's going on out on the lanes first. So it's big brother, the Optimum Idol Solid. Smooth, controllable, kind of benchmarky ball. This is our house shot, a little broken in from the last Summit Ascent video. Just kind of stand in a house shot spot and see what we have going on. Okay, pretty standard for what the Idol does. As you can see, the Idol, a line that's been super controllable, super predictable. It's why the weight block has had so much success over the last 15 years or so. Throw one more, just to kind of make sure. And then we'll go have a word with its baby brother. All right, moved a little inside, threw it a little more right. Like I said, this lane is a little broken in, so there might be a line for a ball like that right now. But as you can see, super smooth, super controllable. And why is that? Well, the core inside the Idol balls, its baby brother included, 246056, so low RG, high diff. And what that essentially means is that it's gonna get into a spin early and have a lot of flair to help it out later down lane. So, first look with the Pearl. Ooh. Looks pretty good. It looks pretty holding it here, and it looks pretty going down the lane, so I'm excited. But yeah, 246056, those are numbers I like because low RG, think a figure skater pulling their arms in, they're gonna get into a tighter, quicker spin, but a lot of flair. So while it's smooth, it's gonna have the back end strength that you need to go through the pins the right way in most situations. Let's throw another one of those. Ooh, this one's good. So, what do I like to see in a medium Pearl symmetric ball? Well, first, like I said, I like low RG. Just suits my eye. I like bringing ball reaction a little closer to me. Makes it a little more controllable in my eye, a little more predictable. It's not the right call for every lane condition, but for the greater majority of things that I see, lower RG, just getting into a roll a little earlier for me, smooths things out. So this ball checks that box. Let's move another 2 left, and we'll pick the speed up. So this ball, shape-wise, rolls exactly like how you'd want an Idol shape to roll. Controllable, predictable. It gives you the confidence that it's not going to surprise you, the front, middle, or back part of the lane. But what about cover? So aside from it looking rad beyond all belief, gosh, I like this neon pink. This is Microtrack's Pearl, and we have seen this a couple times stateside. We'll talk about that in just a sec. Let's throw another one. Oh my gosh. I can play a little in, I can throw it a little out, and there's the Idol. It's gonna allow me to miss, it's gonna allow me to be human, and it kind of takes care of the rest. Microtrack's Pearl though. We saw this on the Exotic Gem. We've also seen this on the Roto Grip Duo, which we'll pull out in just a sec. Let's move another 2 left. So sliding on 36 now. gosh, that ball looks cool going down the lane just colors-wise, but shape-wise is what I'm really excited about. I have a hard time sometimes finding polished, symmetrical balls that aren't too jumpy, that don't go through the pins a little too sharp for me. Just the way I throw it. I need something a little smoother. And I was curious about what it would be, and it's giving me exactly what I want, so pretty excited. Like I said, Microtrax Pearl has also been found on the Roto Grip Duo. Super underrated ball. This is probably one of my favorite medium, shiny, symmetrical balls in a hot minute. Numbers wise, it's a little different. Kind of still low RG, 249, but it's got less flare, 046, so just performance wise, it should be a little different in that respect, but it's got the same cover. See, also smooth and controllable, like I said, that I like, but it has no problem going through the pins. In particular, it has no problem reading that middle part of the lane. So really like that. In all transparency, it's not box factory polish finish. I did just slightly knock the shine off with a 1500 grit pad, just a light dusting, just to kind of get it to be broken in a little bit. It's kind of how I've liked this ball. Let's move 2 left from there. Super happy with that ball. Layout wise, it is different than the Optimum Idol Pearl. Numbers wise, my Duo was drilled the exact same as this Optimum Idol Pearl. So I had the numbers on the screen for that just a few moments ago, but that's 4 3/4 by 40. A little bit stronger than I typically have for my go-to layout, but I kind of wanted both of these to be that. But for my go-to layout, that's what you'll see in my Zen. So this is a 5.5 by 60. And that's not quite the go-to kind of benchmark layout, maybe for most people, but it is for me. And what that does is it takes the flare, and while keeping it strong, it's more forward rolling flare than it is sideways rolling flare. So I like that. Zen, same spot. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a little stronger, the Zen. Just like with the Duo, I've just slightly knocked the polish off with the 1500 pad, just a light dusting. But it is a little bit stronger of a ball, I think. So same RG as the Duo, 249, higher flare, 051. And the cover, to my eye, compared to the Duo, feels just a little stronger too. In those 2 shots, I think you can see that. So from where I'm standing, it looks to me like it's laboring just a little bit, and I think that it's probably because it's rolling a little bit too early. So that's that stronger cover. That's also making it smoother too, which I like. So while I wouldn't use this as configured for a super burnt up shot, with a little bit of breakdown out here, I think it could roll pretty dang good. I'll score up 2 more right, and I think that's about where we want to be. Yeah, looks pretty good there. Probably not what I see as the best option for right now, but I mean, Zen ball good. It's been pretty proven over the years, so still a fantastic choice. But yeah, just like the Duo and the Optimum Idol Pearl, this cover, S77 Response, it's kind of a nano-based, kind of a micro texture cover. Really what that means is it's more of a footprint on the lane than something super clean, like say R2S. Let's go back to the Optimum Idol Pearl. See what's going on after more shots at breakdown. Stand in the same place. See what we got going on. still looks pretty good. Still nice and smooth, still nice and controllable. This is box finish. I haven't touched this yet. I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if I just lightly knock the polish off, but right now, it's rolling pretty great. Even from a little more inside, there's no problem reading that heavier bit of oil in the middle and still going through the pins great, which tells me that maybe I don't need, for right now, to knock that shine off. Footprint is prevalent enough, I think. Let's move around the lane a little bit, see what it does. Let's move a big step. Let's move 8 right, 9 right, and flatten it out a little bit, see what it can do. Okay, so it's seeming like versatility check. If that's a part of the lane that you like to play, and this is perhaps a type of shot you see, Optimum Idol Pearl might have you covered. How far right can we go? Let's move, so that was 9 right. Let's move a total of 15 right. Okay, that makes sense, right? Now I could probably shape it somehow to get it to go from there, but that's not my game, and that's not typically where I like to play on this. So let's move on from that. And let's move from there 20-ish left, where the back of my legs are now on the ball return. And let's coast to coast it. All right, maybe not the best shot, but I think that went from LA to New York and back just fine. It was a Brooklyn shot too. So let's try that again. Still up against the ball return, but move a little back on the approach to speed up and see if we can't coast to coast again. Yeah, something like that. Again, that's also probably where I would not be playing on this kind of a shot with that type of a ball, or even my style, but it's got some capability, right? LA to Brooklyn, landing safely in Chicago. Looked pretty good to me. Let's get your eyes where my eyes are, and we're just gonna throw a bunch of shots in a row, and then you can formulate your own opinions. All right, so I think that was about 5 shots. Struck at almost all of them. There was one shot that I kind of tried a line a little closer to the friction and it went through the nose, I think. Brooklyn maybe. But, well, a couple things. One, I see the shot starting to break down. So it's probably time for me to start changing a couple things. Maybe where I move, maybe how I throw it. But overall, the Optimum Idol Pearl is looking pretty capable when it comes to lane transition. That's a buzzword. If you hear the word transition, it just simply means that the lane is starting to change. Usually that means it goes from having oil to having less oil. Now, where the oil starts and where the oil finishes is different depending on the situation. Let's throw this is probably right here where I think the spot is at this given point in time. You dirty dog. Okay, so maybe not quite, but well, pretty powerful through the pins, right? Kind of a tickler 9. Well, now I want to get lined up. Let's move just one left, but I'm also gonna flatten my hand out just a tad. Another tickler 9, almost looked cut and pasted there, so. Cameo session again. You'll see our beloved mechanic Ryan over there installing a new TV, so thanks Ryan. In the last few videos, you may have seen some cameos from Painter Mike, and of course Syrup Jim. It's summertime in Seattle, and so a lot of us are working pretty hard to get our facility all ready to go for the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of league bowlers coming up in the fall season. Okay, so what are we seeing so far with the Optimum Idol Pearl? Well, checking a decent amount of boxes for me. First box is just how gorgeous it looks aesthetically. That hot pink, pretty cool. Number 2 is it's pretty versatile. You can play a variety of lines, and that means that it will probably be well suited for a wide variety of different types of bowling styles. That's a good one. Third one is it's dependable, it's reliable. It's got the idle core shape that has been super successful over the years at all levels of bowling. I will say that it does have a strong cover. I can kind of see that it's starting to need a little bit more oil the longer I go. Not uncommon, the more you bowl on a lane. It's not going to be as clean. It's not going to get through the lane as easy as something like, say, an IQ Tour Ruby or even a Phase 5. It's going to read the middle of the lane a little sooner, a little earlier, a little stronger. But that's okay, because that means this is that transition ball for maybe after you start with your fresh benchmark ball. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll stand in the same place that I've been throwing it and striking, but now I'll just lower the speed a tad. In doing that, I think it will be just a little too strong. Yeah, so that would have me, what, move left with my feet and my eyes to kind of find some oil, or I ball down from that into a Ruby, Phase 5, something like that. Let's throw one more, then we'll wrap it up. All right, Optimum Idol Pearl. Pretty good for a shiny medium. Definitely one of my favorite balls in that category that I've seen in a while. I think for me it's been about time to retire the Zen. So that and the Duo kind of have its place. If I need a little more flair, Optimum Idol Pearl. If I need a little less flair, got that Duo. It's a nice 1-2 punch when the lanes start to get a little toasty. So who's it for? Well, like I said, it's pretty versatile, so it should match up for a wide variety of bowlers. If you are high revs, it's clean, it's polished, it's pearl, it's meant to get through that first part of the lane, and it does that pretty good to my eye. If you are low revs, it has some down lane motion that I think you're gonna like, so it's gonna help you out there. If you're high speed, it's micro tracks that cover, so it's gonna read that middle part of the lane. Think all season tires, not summer tires, but not quite winter tires yet, all season tires. So it's gonna slow it down when it comes to a medium shiny ball. It's gonna slow it down a bit, and I think that high speed bowlers will appreciate that. If you're low speed, I think it's still clean enough to stay in that ball, maybe just after game 1, but then maybe you switch out of that ball into something like a Ruby or a Height, something like that. I think that could be a really great transition line. But yeah, does it fit into my bag? We're gonna find out. Fall league's coming up, and I'm excited to show up and show everybody my hot pink ball. I like the vivid colors. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of my bowling balls are blue color, and that's my go-to favorite color scheme, but the neon stuff, pretty good. I don't think we've seen that since the Helios, that bright orange, so pretty cool. But yeah, fall league season upon us, and so we got a bunch of videos coming your way. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.